Here we go. Hello, everybody. I hope you can hear me. If you can't, throw me a comment real quick. But I think we should be ready to go. Eat great to look great. This is part 3 of our masterclass webinar, New Year, New You. We do this in February because we know a lot of people have big goals they set for their life, or at least I hope you do. And for whatever reason, things have been derailed. You're not sure what to do, or you got confused, or just it can be hard out there. So this is a 6-part masterclass or workshop or web series, whatever you want to call it. We did introduction and mindset. We did goal setting last week, Tuesday. Thursday, this is our nutrition, eat great to look great part of the series. This is probably the one that most people will have questions on, maybe the most interesting. I could probably talk on nutrition for an hour to 2 hours. We're going to try to keep this to 20 minutes or less. Hopefully this stimulates a lot of conversation or questions you may have. If you have those questions, if you have conversations that come up, put them in the comments. I'll get back to them as soon as I can. Ask me in the office. You can call us, email us, whatever. Ways to get a hold of us. Our website is mybarringtonchiropractor.com. That's our phone number down there at the bottom. This is on Dr. Degnan Healthy Living, which is our Facebook page, or YouTube, Degnan Family Chiropractic. These videos will live there, so you're able to go back and see those. The links at least will be there, so you can go back and look at those as well. But with nutrition, I am not saying that this is the be-all, end-all of nutrition. I'm not saying that there's nothing else that can happen. I'm just going to give you some of the easy tips. We talked about the first is that we don't want to do tips. We want to give you lifestyle changes, some easy lifestyle changes that you can implement right away and get better and get better and get better. There may be other stuff you like to do, something that you're more interested in. If you research it and it makes sense in your lifestyle, then go for it. That's awesome. So let's jump right into it. Eat great to look great. I saw this quote the other day on, I don't know if it was social media or the internet, wherever I saw it, but it's not my quote. It was unknown. It's amazing to me that people are so afraid of germs, but will gladly consume carcinogens, pesticides, toxins, and chemicals in their food, drinks, skin and body care every single day without batting an eye. Isn't that appropriate for the world we live in right now? And I don't want to have get in a debate on viruses and germs necessarily, but the bottom line is viruses and germs are not going away ever. We're going to live with these for the rest of our lives. So how healthy are you when they come around? That's it, bottom line, right? In my opinion, if you wanted to get people healthier, then we would shut down fast food restaurants tomorrow, McDonald's tomorrow, smoking, drinking. I mean, this is if the goal was truly to get people healthy or protect people, or remember, this is for you and others. Like, that's how you do it. I'm not saying that you can't do that stuff. Just don't say that we're trying to protect people if those things aren't also on your radar. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. And this is the reason why. This is the standard American lifestyle right now. 2/3 of all Americans are overweight or obese. I mean, look at those stats over here on the right. 80% of people, they live off of junk food on a daily basis, right? Look at the main source of empty calories in the bottom left there. I mean, they're eating fast food for all of their meals. 1 in 5 kids are obese right now. That's insane. The type of calories we're eating, the type of food we're eating. It's called the SAD diet, Standard American Diet. It's sad. It's not okay. So what do we do to get better? Hopefully this helps stimulate those the juices in you to make those changes. The effects of obesity, if this is something that you're dealing with, there's hundreds of different effects of obesity on the body, but it's clearly shown that the more obese we are, the higher incidence of type 2 diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, strokes, gallbladder issues, all from being obese or overweight. There's a study done that it's between 33 and 70% increase in the chance of breast cancer in postmenopausal women if their dress sizes has continued to increase over the last 10 years. 33 to 70% increase in breast cancer. Holy cow. Well, maybe we could just decrease that, right? Decrease the 77% of breast cancer by helping people eat healthy and stay healthy. It's amazing the effects we can make just through nutrition. Now, I put this BMI slide in here. BMI is not a gold standard by any means. It's just an easy, scale to look at. It doesn't work for everybody, but if you just want kind of a basic baseline, this is something you can use. So basically, it looks at how tall you are and how much you weigh. Now, for somebody that maybe has a body style like mine, I actually don't love this because it puts me in a pretty obese category. Now, can I afford to lose a few pounds? 100%. But I do exercise quite often and I eat healthy diet, so I'm not 100% worried about my BMI. Also, we call it eat great to look great because not everybody here is looking to lose weight. Maybe you're actually looking to gain mass or increase, which is like my wife, Dr. Delphine. She's one of those lucky people with her metabolism burns so fast and so hot that she loses weight when she eats food. She loses weight by doing nothing. Her goals are actually to gain weight and to increase her body mass. So we want to be able to do that as well. So whatever your goals are, not just losing weight. Most people probably is losing weight, but it could be gaining weight or gaining healthy mass as well. And this applies to everybody. In general, to get you healthy then, we use what's called 5 essentials in our office. You may have heard this before. First is core chiropractic, which means you have to have a healthy nervous system, right? The brain tells the stomach how to digest food and those nutrients where to go through the spinal cord and the nervous system. So if you have pressure there, it doesn't matter how organic your vegetables are or how healthy you eat, you've got to start there. But nutrition is 100% our second essential. It matters what you eat. That's the building blocks for your health. Mindset matters. Oxygen and exercise matter. And if the last one's covered up, it says minimizing toxins, decreasing toxic load to your body. Those are the 5 areas we look at in our office and we try to help all of our patients with. But today, focused on nutrition. So I'm going to jump right into it. This is kind of the key, maybe hot button words you see out there right now. Intermittent fasting, paleo, keto, vegan. There's probably a bunch of others. I'm going to cover these though, because I think those are the ones I hear the most. And they're probably, if you're looking to do something different, probably the easier ones to get done. Keto is probably the diet that I would identify with most. I don't do any of these strictly. I have done them strictly in like short bursts, but I'm not doing any of these personally strictly. If you need something to kind of grasp onto and motivate you, then do keto, do paleo, do intermittent fasting, whatever it is, you can kind of dive into those. I'm not saying any of these are right or any of these are wrong. I'm saying they all have benefits and they all work if you do them correctly. So ketogenesis, that's basically your low carb, high fat type of diet. That's probably, like I said, the one I identify with the most. High fats give you great energy and they keep you full, so you're not always looking for more food. Carbohydrates are what break down into glucose and sugar in the body the most. So most people need to limit that to the best of their ability. Paleo means Paleolithic, or eating like your ancestors did. This is like 10,000 or longer years ago. 10,000 could be a million years, whatever it is, a long, long time ago. So there weren't any processed foods. There wasn't pastas and grains and breads out there. So it's fish, it's meats, it's fruits, it's veggies, it's nuts, it's seeds. That's kind of the basis for it. Vegan, this is basically abstaining from all animal products. And a lot of people may do this because they just don't like the way animals are treated, or it's a religious thing. Whatever the reasons are, you just got to get those healthy nutrients in, and you can do it being totally plant-based if you so choose. But using all of this is a good idea to give yourself something to anchor to, or just something to follow. Intermittent fasting, this is something I definitely practice. I basically skip breakfast personally. You can do this a bunch of different ways. If you see to the right there, it says 16-8 method. That's the most popular intermittent fasting method. Essentially what that is you're eating for a certain amount of time and you're fasting for a certain amount of time. And typically, to call it intermittent fasting, it's going to be at least half the day fasting or more. So 12-12 would be intermittent fasting, eating for 12 hours, fasting for 12 hours. 16-8, fasting for 16 hours, eating for 8 hours, which is usually what I identify with. I won't eat past 8 o'clock typically. Then I'll go through the night. This includes sleep, so it makes it a little easier. Sleep, I'll skip breakfast, then I'll eat again around noon. You can do that. You could eat, breakfast and lunch and skip dinner and then do a cycle like that. You could do a 23-1 where you fast for 23 hours, you eat for 1. You could do a complete fast for a day, 24-hour fast. You could do a water fast. There's a lot of different fasting out there. Please, with all of these, do your research and find what works best for you. But those are some of the different things out there right now that I think would really resonate with people, and you can do pretty quickly and pretty easily and get results. Again, if you have questions, let me know. We're not going to be able to, I could do 20 minutes on each of these: keto, vegan, paleo, intermittent fasting. We're trying to keep this whole thing within about 20 minutes. Core and Advanced Plan. This is something that Max Living put together, which we give this book out quite a bit called Align Your Health in our office. It's written by Max Living. There's also a great book called Paleo Cardiologist by Dr. Jack Wolfson. We read that as a team last year. I just went and saw him speak. He's a pretty interesting character. Dr. Jack Wolfson was one of the leading cardiologists in the country, and he was out of Arizona. And the hospital he was at tried to take his license away from him because he was recommending patients go see chiropractors. He was recommending patients eat healthy, and they were starting to get off their medications. And the hospital didn't like that because they were getting healthy without their medications and drugs, and it was costing them money. So he had to actually leave the hospital. He started his own cardiologist center based off these natural tendencies. So that's a great book, Align Your Health. You can get that as well. The first part of Align Your Health is basically the 5 essentials: exercise, diet, mindset, chiropractic. And then the second half is very nutrition focused. Recipes, the core plan, the advanced plan. These are 2 different plans people are going to get and follow that give you easy options to take care of yourself. So the core plan is the more relaxed plan. The advanced plan is a little more intense. The advanced plan is also designed to be more, temporary. So you kind of do advanced plan for whatever period of time, and then maybe go to the core plan and back and forth. Advanced plan is going to be more restricted. Somebody that would be interested in the advanced plan might be a diabetic that's trying to get diabetes under control or blood sugar under control, pre-diabetic, something like that. We had somebody, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but we did a detox 2 years ago. This guy reversed type 2 diabetes in 7 days, completely reversed, just by eating healthier and cutting out a lot of the garbage in his diet. So you can see advanced plan is no grains at all, gluten-free, but we want healthy fats, no damaged fats, naturally raised animal products. I'll talk about that in a little bit. And then for the advanced plan, it's only low sugar fruits and berries like green apples and berries, where the core plan, you may get a little bit more variety in there. So just, again, things to look at that you can really put on and focus for yourself to get some great results. Breakfast. Would I make you mad, or would I really challenge your beliefs if I said breakfast is probably not the most important meal of the day? Please don't get mad at me if you are completely against that. I think that it actually depends on the person. I think, for example, for kids, it is probably one of the most important meals of the day, but you've got to look again at the circumstance. Kids are basically doing intermittent fasting on their own. Most people, eat dinner with their family around 6 o'clock, and then the kids don't eat again until breakfast. So they're doing that intermittent fasting. They don't even know it. They're waking up in the morning. They're probably hungry, so they should eat. But what do a lot of adults do? We'll eat dinner, and then we'll have a snack, and 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, you're out on the town, you have a 1 a.m. meal, you get up in the morning and you eat again. You're probably not even hungry. Your body doesn't even want it. You're just so in the habit of eating, breakfast. So what are some different options to breaking your fast? I've got some different things, some pictures on there. One of the other questions I get quite a bit is, what supplements do you take? In our office, we have a very basic kind of the necessity of supplements. I don't want to be a vitamin store. I don't want supplements to overshadow chiropractic and how powerful the adjustment is. So I'm going to give you an example of kind of what I do here. So the top right corner, I believe, says Daily Essentials. That's actually a new product that came out that I love because it's got 5 supplements, 5 vitamins in one, where I used to have 5 different bottles. But vitamin D, if you're not taking vitamin D, probably one of the best recommendations, start taking the vitamin D. Multivitamins in there. If you don't know where to start, multivitamins are going to cover your basics. Omega's in there, so a healthy fish oil. You may get a fish oil already, but what's the quality? Where are you getting it from? Does it have the good omega-3 to omega-6 ratios in there? What kind of fish is being used? Is it rancid? These are questions you should be asking when you look at any of your supplements. Whole food, is it coming from a whole food source? I know that what we have here is some of the top of the line supplements out there, and they have testing. They've been tested from third-party sources, which is why the cost goes up a little bit, because you've got to pay for those different tests to get done to make sure what you're eating is appropriate and it's what your body needs. Curcumin Veil, top left here, that's what I take for inflammation on a daily basis to help just keep inflammation low. Max Greens is, if I'm going to have something in the morning, it's probably going to be Max Greens. It's a powder. It's got like 62 different antioxidants and vegetables and fruits in there. So it's a good cover of my basis. And then you see the picture in the middle is the lady having a smoothie. If smoothies are great to sneak things in for kids, right? If your kids are picky eaters or they don't like certain things, you can sneak a lot of good, healthy nutrients into a smoothie. Secondly, they're easy to digest. They're easy on your stomach. So if you have leaky gut type issues or inflammation, that may be a good option for you. And then you can also control kind of more what goes in there. You'll see, I believe it's one of the grass-fed whey proteins is what that picture is of. I'm only eating protein on days that I work out personally, because I know I'm getting protein in my diet on a regular basis. Remember, they're called supplements because you're supplementing what you're not getting on your own. If you can get it in your diet naturally, that's how you should do it every single time. Those Max Greens, for example, there's no way I can get 62 different substances in my diet every single day, so I supplement it. Vitamin D is from the sunshine. There's not a ton of sunshine right now, so I supplement it. Protein, if I'm working out hard and I want to supplement that protein, otherwise I probably don't need it because I'm getting it in my diet. So figure out those healthy ways to break your fast. That's if you're writing notes or saying what's the one thing I can change, maybe that's it right there. Just do breakfast a little differently. If you're not hungry, don't eat, or eat healthier, or eat something higher in fat to keep you full. Healthy fats, remember, coconut oils, grass-fed healthy animal oils, nut seed oils. You want healthy fats, not damaged fats. Canola oil, no way. Corn oils, no way. And here's part of the reason for that. Grass-fed, a lot of people, that's another hot topic. Is that what they call it? Hot topic out there right now. It's one of those buzzwords. That's what I'm looking for. It's one of the buzzwords. So grass-fed is important. And that's what we eat with our meat. Grass-fed, free range. Grass-fed, free range, and whatever else the labels are out there. But that does matter, but you should know what that means. So if it just says grass-fed, this is part we'll talk about reading your labels in a second. Grass-fed means it must be at least 30% grass-fed, but the rest of that can be what we call grain-finished, meaning that everything they did grass-fed wise is thrown out the window because they're being shoved with corn and soy, whatever else, which is not part of the animal's natural diet. So you've heard you are what you eat. Well, it says you are what they eat. You are what your food eats, 100%. Especially with the meats here. And this may be a tip for your pocketbook if you're looking at cost and budgeting. If you're saying, well, man, eating healthy is expensive, that can be true. It's getting better, right? The meats are usually the more expensive ones, and the vegetables are they're really well priced now. So you can find an organic apple for probably the exact same amount as a regular conventional apple. The more we buy, the more we use this stuff, the prices will continue to come down. But if you have to pick between one, I would tell you pick the grass-fed free range meats every time, animal products every time, because those are the building blocks, the amino acids and the proteins that are harder to cleanse from your body if you have kind of junky building blocks. Your body does have a detox system. We'll talk about detox actually in our next class. They can get rid of some of these pesticides and toxins that come in from the vegetables. A lot of the stuff is sprayed on. It's still not great, but you can detox from that a lot easier than the meats. So what we look for is 100% grass-fed, grass-finished. I actually went to a butcher one time and I said, "Can I have some of your grass-fed meat?" And he said, "It's all grass-fed," because a lot of cows will eat when they're in pasture, but they stuff this grain and soy and corn down the rest of the time to give them the fat and the marbling. They want a prime steak, but it's just not healthy for you. And then conventional will be 0% grass-fed. And one of the reasons we look at this is because we look at the omega-6 to omega-3 ratio that comes from the animal products, and we want kind of a 1-to-1 to a 4-to-1 ratio. That's a natural healthy ratio for the body. Anything that's out of that ratio is actually going to start to go the other way and cause problems like increased inflammation specifically. So the standard American diet, again, is anywhere from 20-to-1 to 100-to-1 omega-6 to omega-3s. Omega-6s are great. They're healthy for you, but as long as they're inside this ratio. If you get out of this ratio, inflammation increases, disease increases, leaky gut increases. This is the meats, the fishes, everything. So this is why you want to know that source and know what kind of food you're getting. All right? Very good. Moving right along. So this is leptin, insulin type hormones in the body. If you don't know what these are, most people have heard of insulin. Most people have not heard of leptin. This is a game changer. So leptin is very powerful. Hormones are very powerful. They're running around your body, telling your body what to do. They're turning things on, they're turning things off. And when hormones are working properly, the body functions properly. So I'll give you a couple examples here. This leptin connection. Leptin, the one that most people don't know about, is the one that tells you basically you're full. It tells you that we've got what we need, we don't need more, you did a good job, let's stop now. Insulin is very closely connected to leptin. Insulin is the one that takes the glucose from your blood and pushes it into your cells. So you eat a meal, your body breaks it down. You absolutely have to have glucose. It's essential. That's what gives you energy. But glucose goes into your bloodstream, and then your insulin gets released. It takes that glucose, puts it in your cell. You have energy. Life is good if you use up all the glucose. The problem comes when we don't use up all the glucose, and then it's just this free sugar in the body, so you have elevated blood sugar levels. So how does that happen? How do we ever get there? Well, you have something that's called leptin, which is telling your brain that we're full. Hey, I've eaten enough food. We don't need any more. I've eaten enough food. We don't need any more. You stop eating. Your body uses the insulin to take the glucose in. Life is good. That cycle keeps going. What happens is we tend to burn out those receptors, or we overuse them, and your body gets confused because it's saying, wait a second, there's no way we're eating this much food. The body keeps saying leptin, leptin, leptin. I'm just going to ignore it now because something's not right. Something's off. So why would I keep listening to this? Or, man, too much insulin, too much. I keep dumping insulin in my body. Like, I'm just going to ignore it. I'm going to turn it off. It's called you're burning out your insulin cells. You're burning out your leptin receptor cells. And then your body gets thrown into confusion. This is what you would need to reset. This is where like a cleanse or a detox or fasting is very good at resetting those things. If you shut it all down for a day or a few, and then you start to eat normally again, then your body's got those receptors back and it says, oh, we're full, stop eating. Oh, we've got sugar in the body. Let's put the appropriate amount of insulin in. So you can reset these things. But if we ignore it, we overeat, or we eat a lot of glucose and not a lot of fats, then we throw this thing out of balance and it gets harder to bounce back from. So hopefully that helps. If you're looking for these little lifestyle changes and why it happens, this should really start to connect the dots for you. Ask questions again, bring them into the office. Let's get you moving in the right direction. All right, shopping. Hopefully you're getting notes you can take that I'm going to do this differently or that differently. And please don't try to do it all differently. If you're getting overwhelmed right now, take a breath, put the pen down, go back and watch this video later, and then find that one thing or maybe two things that you want to change right now. Shopping may be that thing for you. I think we talked about in the first visit, failing to plan is planning to fail. Failing to plan is planning to fail. So if you haven't planned your meals for the week, this could be the game changer for you right here. Literally, write down Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're going to eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. This is what we're going to have. So when you go to the grocery store, you take that list to the grocery store. One, you're not going to overbuy, so you're going to save money. It's a great budget trick too as well, because you're not just chucking things in the cart. You're going to save money. And then you're going to have these healthy options in your house. So then keeping the basic stock, one of the reasons we say this is because if you If you come home and you're starving or you're hungry and you don't have a plan, if you don't have the basics in there, you're just going to open it in the cupboards and eat whatever you have. I've got bread, I've got jelly, I'm eating it. I'm starving, I'm hangry. Have we heard that term before? I'm hangry. Well, there you go. You got to find a way to combat that. So be prepared, plan for the week, have the basics in there. More times plus planning and shopping than cooking. Really, this comes down to a couple things. One, we don't want to be in the kitchen all the time because you're going to get burnt out there as well. You're going to become mad at the kitchen. You're going to be like, I'm sick of cooking. Let's just go out to eat. Let's get this. And you're going to order in, which is not bad in moderation. But if you're doing it all the time, you're not getting the quality nutrients that you need. Also, if you're cooking more than planning, you're probably either cooking too much or overcooking or wasting. So planning is, again, a huge part of it. Read your labels. If you're not doing that, there's another one. Pick the one you want, but read your labels. That'll make a huge difference. So the last night we did fish tacos. And it was great. It was a fun experience. My daughter, she made the guacamole from scratch. She was cutting the avocados and the tomatoes and the onions and blending that all together. I was doing the filling. I was chopping lettuce. What else did I do? I did the black olives, and we had this sprouted, like sweet potato taco shell. As a tip, when you're looking in the grocery stores, if you go to the refrigerated section, you'll find a lot of the taco shells there. Those are usually the ones that are a lot healthier. If they're being refrigerated, that's to preserve them instead of preservatives and chemicals being in the ones on the shelves, because they got to preserve them somehow. But for whatever reason, I couldn't find those ones in the refrigerated section. So I found this whole shelf that was all dedicated to taco shells. And basically, I flipped it over. And if the ingredient list was like an inch long, I just put it, I didn't have to read it, just put it back. Too much stuff. So I finally came across the sprouted ones. It's 5 ingredients. That was it. Done. Right, 5 ingredients, whole foods in the bag, ready to go. And then the last thing here says get 10% better. I don't care if that's 1% better or 10% better. Don't get overwhelmed. Goes and celebrate the short term. Right? Celebrate the successes. If you have a home cooked meal, and if you don't have home cooked meals and you just cook it at home today and it's not even a healthy meal, celebrate that. You're moving in the right direction. If you go to the grocery store and you go with a meal plan, celebrate that. Celebrate the short term. Enjoy the process. Healthy eating is delicious. Healthy eating is awesome. And just so you know, it's no more difficult to cook something unhealthy than healthy. Right? I could have cooked, a disgusting taco meal last night with boxed sauces and packets for seasonings. Instead of doing all from scratch, it would probably take me the same amount of time. But it can be delicious. It can be fun. It can be easy. It really can. Just take a little bit to celebrate and plan it out. So general healthy nutrition guy, we're really coming close to the end here. This is trying to wrap everything up. We talked about your big why. So hopefully you guys are looking, as we go through this, let me grab it. You're looking at your vision sheet, right, or your life wheel. This is really the worksheet that we want to help you guide you through this whole series. So if your goal, your 6-month goal, your 1-year goal, your 2-year goal, your 5-year plan, that should all come together so you're working towards the right goal, and the emotions are there with your big why to help get you through it. Food is fuel and sustenance. It's not just something to chuck in your body for taste. You can make great tasting stuff, but it's fuel. It's going to get you those where you want to go. Again, healthy nutrition, dense options. Take away the unhealthy stuff. Bedtime planning, shopping. Keep a food journal. If you don't do a food journal, if you've never done one, start with that. There's your tip right there. Start with 1 or 2 days of a food journal. Just see what you're eating. Maybe that'll open your eyes up right there. Just see what you've got going on. All right. I believe, where are we at here? This is it. That's the next opportunities. So our office, Degnan Family Chiropractic, please, if you like this videos, if these are helping you out, share them with somebody, tell somebody about it. Our mission is to save and change lives by being in front of this community. There's too many people that are sick and suffering out there, and it's not okay with me. Most people are not eating the way they're supposed to. It's a sad diet. Not even supposed to. They're not even eating anything healthy at all. They're not getting nutrition at all. We can make a difference here. If you'd like to come in the office and chat with me about it, Degnan Family Chiropractic. Masterclass is the keyword for webinar specials, newsletters, Facebook, YouTube. just stay connected with us so we can keep you moving in the right direction. Let's see, March 2nd, that's our Clean Up, Clean Out, Live Free special guest speaker for that one, Eva Stankiewicz from Salad Master. We jumped on board them years ago. The healthiest, less toxic cookware out there. So she's going to just give a few tips on cooking and being toxic free while you're cooking and just helping your family stay healthy. So we'll see you guys. That's Tuesday. That'll be, Tuesday at 3 o'clock. So we'll do that on Tuesday at 3 o'clock. We'll be live on here as well. I look forward to seeing you there and have a blessed day. We'll see you in the office.